Hello, and welcome to the Chatty Corner, which it's been a while since I've done one. Sorry about that. I just simply haven't got around to doing it. That was literally it. Like, I think it would reach the Thursday in the last couple of weeks, and I went, crap, I didn't do a Chatty Corner. Oh, I'll do one on the weekend, and then I didn't, and then the next week rolls around, I'm like, screw it, just do it on the Wednesday like normal. And then I didn't do it. And then, yeah. So, that's fun. But I've done it this week. I've made sure to do it this week. So this is the thing. So first of all, as always, what are the updates with current Let's Play? Tomb Raider 3 is running just smoothly, as always. This week is, of course, the High Security Compound, and I hope you're enjoying that. The third part should have gone up yesterday. It's a big update this week. It's 4 parts, so you've had the first 3. Today you're getting this Chatty Corner, tomorrow you're getting the last part, and then nothing over the weekend. Next week is Area 51. I can't remember how long that is. I haven't fully split it up yet, but I'll probably do that at some point tomorrow. In terms of where I'm at, on my backloggery, I have actually been putting up where I'm at on that front. So I've got, when I'm researching what I'm recording, what I'm uploading, and what I'm editing. So if you're curious as to where I'm at, have a look at my backloggery, it's up there. I'd like to say thank you again for everyone who is supporting that Let's Play. I've had a lot of wonderful feedback from people since I've started it, and I'm glad that you're all enjoying it. Again, I've said this the last time I did this, but it still holds true. Thank you so much. You are wonderful people, every single one of you. And anything you can do to help promote the channel, anything you can do to support the channel in any way, whether it's, telling your friends about it, linking it to big name people who might be interested in this kind of thing, anything you can do. Of course, if you can donate to my Patreon, that's pretty lovely too. Thank you to those of you who are already donating. The numbers have gone up in the last couple of weeks, and that makes me very happy. Not quite at the improved quality thing that I mentioned last week. We're still $15 off that, but we're getting there very slowly, and that makes me happy. And as soon as I hit that, it's the next thing. I think last time I did mention about the suggestion of a Q&A directed at Lara. I won't do it as part of the Chatty Corner, I'll probably do it as a separate video. I don't know where I'll fit it in, but I'll definitely do it. And I got a lot of really positive responses saying, yeah, that'd be a really cool video to do. No one asked any questions. So that's the key thing here, is that the point of it is that you would ask the questions and I would answer them as Lara is kind of the idea. It doesn't help if you just go, yeah, it's a good idea, do it, and then you don't contribute to the video. It's not how it works. There won't be a video. I have had some questions on Twitter, so if you've got other questions, feel free to send them my way, in whatever form you want. Whether it's on here or on Twitter or whatever, just send me some questions. Speaking of questions, I remembered that I've got an Ask FM account as well. I set it up ages ago, and then never really mentioned it to anyone, and then forgot I had it. But I saw it in my bookmarks the other day, and it was just like, I have this. So that might be a good place for you to chuck some questions at me at random points. So I'm happy to answer questions at any point, so that's there. Probably start putting links to that in descriptions and things like that. So yeah, that's general channel updates so far. Obviously I know about PlayStation All Stars Extras. I haven't worked on that. Again, I've kind of been doing other stuff outside the channel, and finding time to do the Let's Plays is kind of all I can really devote my time to at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying doing Tomb Raider 3. I'm just saying that it's, a lot of other things are kind of taking up my time, and as a result I want to focus on getting other stuff done. Important non-channel things. But definitely I want to keep the Let's Play going because it's running and I want to keep it regular. But that's like, all the video work time is going on that. I will certainly look into it, and again, if you've got any specific information about any of the characters for PlayStation All Stars, that would massively help me. So that's that. Speaking of PlayStation stuff, aside from the fact that it was recently the 20th anniversary of the US launch of the PS1, I have also reached the PS1 in my chronological game challenge. Right now I'm playing Rayman, which is the first PS1 game that I have, the oldest PS1 game that I have. It was a launch game in the US for the PS1. And I find it funny that around like the week after, I think maybe week after, 2 weeks after, Sony have been doing loads of celebratory stuff to celebrate the anniversary of the PlayStation, and I reached the PlayStation on my challenge. I found that interesting that happened so simultaneously. That was not planned, I can assure you. I thought that the 20th anniversary stuff was done with last year, but obviously not, because they did it the other week. So there you go. But Rayman, I have started playing, and I bought it off PSN just because, like, I think I'd played a little bit of Rayman as a kid and just never owned it. I never got around to buying it, but like loads of people have said the Rayman series is really good, so I've recently started trying to get hold of all those games. Rayman I've had sitting on my PS3 for a while, but I've just not got around to playing it. This is, again, one of the points of doing the challenge was that it would force me to play all these games that I've not got around to playing yet. And yeah, that was one of them. And today, as I record this, I also bought the second and third games, and the other week I bought Legends, so they'll all get played as part of the challenge as well. I'm enjoying Rayman. It's very French. For those of you who pay attention to me on Twitter, you would have noticed that I put, "Hello, my name is Michel. This is my game about the man with the arms, with no arms, even." And then the next day, I tweeted the same thing in French, because why the hell not? And no one responded, really. I was hoping to get people going, what the hell are you on about? I also followed it up with another phrase in French, but I'm going to let you guys try and figure that one out. I'll put it up on screen right now. There you go. Yeah, you gotta figure that one out. I hope that you enjoy figuring out what I just said. It's probably really bad French, because I've been learning French, but I'm very bad at French, and I'm not very confident with it. So it was kind of just pieced together from what I knew of French, so if the grammar's all off, I'm sorry to everybody who speaks French. But yes, I don't know why I think that Rayman feels so French. I know it's a French game, but it just feels French as well. Like, Beyond Good and Evil's a French game, but it doesn't really feel French. But Rayman does, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just like the animation styles of it, because I heard that they got like a French animation company to work on it, and I'm like, well, that's probably why. But it's a good game. I really like how it just intensely charming it is in so many ways, but it's also kind of really frustrating. It's very difficult, to the point where I just went, you know what, screw it, I'm going to use that lives cheat. It's very trial and error, but you get a limited number of lives, so you can't really trial things and make errors like trial and error is supposed to allow you to do. So that's kind of an issue with the game, but hey, whatever. I'm trying to push my way through it. So what's been going on in gaming news? This is kind of all over the place because this was me just gathering everything together. I mentioned the 20th anniversary of the PS1 US release. Again, we're back on PlayStation stuff. So PlayStation All-Stars. No, there's been no news about PlayStation All-Stars. This refers to my series, and it links into the news that came out this week. So I've had this issue with PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale history. I like my series. It's a really good series. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what I've done with it. It's not perfect, but you know, I think I did a good job, and I enjoyed doing it. But there's one thing that I hate. Cat's video. The reason I hate Cat's video so much is simply because the Gravity Rush footage is so bad, because it was literally me just pointing a camera at a Vita and playing the game. So it's shaky as hell, it's really badly framed. I tried editing it so that the screen took up most of it and you saw less of my hands, but it didn't always work out. And yeah, it's really bad. It's kind of blurry at times, and I don't like it. And yeah, this week, it's been rumoured for a while, but it was officially announced that Gravity Rush Remastered is coming out end of this year in Japan and early next year everywhere else. I don't normally buy remasters. I don't really see the point, because my opinion is, I've already got the game, I don't need to buy the game again. I would make an exception for Gravity Rush Remastered for the simple fact that I could use it to make a better version of the cat video. So I would just play all of it again and record those key bits and replace all of the footage. I would probably just use everything, I would use the exact same video exactly as it is, but I would just drop in footage of the remaster instead, and then I would call the video Cat Remastered. I need an Elgato for this, so I can record the PS4, because that's kind of the problem right now, because I don't have anything that records HDMI. Yeah, so that's why you've probably not seen much PS4 stuff from me. Yeah. Plus, I tend to do older games anyway, games that I'm familiar with and I know and I love. But regardless, there is a PS4 thing I would like to do. It's the Oddworld New and Tasty thing. I'd like to do simultaneous playthroughs of the original Abe's Odyssey and New and Tasty. Similar to the Tomb Raider 1 Anniversary thing, but not quite, because I probably wouldn't do it as one single LP. Probably do it as two separate ones that run simultaneously. But that's the thing I've got, but I can't do it because I can't record it. It is a thing on my Patreon, so again, more reason to go and donate, because it can push towards me doing PS4 stuff, which would mean when Gravity Rush Remastered comes out, I would pick that up, and then I would do the video better. But the more important news that came out of the Gravity Rush Remastered thing was the bit that followed it, which was showing off the first bit of footage beyond that teaser trailer we saw 2 years ago of Gravity Rush 2. Yes, this I'm very excited about. I really loved the first Gravity Rush. It was a really great game, and there's so many unanswered questions about that storyline, and I really just loved the world. And when it finished, I was like, I want to play more. Like, it felt too short, and I want more of that world and more of that. And we're getting it. It's coming to PS4, though, not the Vita, which makes me think that the Vita's pretty much dead. Let's be honest. Sony are not supporting this anymore. That is one of Sony's properties. That is one of their own things, and it was specific to the Vita. And now they're porting it over and releasing the sequel on the PS4 as well. So it's like, well, what's the point of the Vita at this point? It's weird because it's getting third party. It's like the reverse of Nintendo's problem. Like, Nintendo's problem right now is that they're coming out with some really great first party stuff, but they've got absolutely no third party support. The Vita has tons of third party support. Indie developers are making tons of games for it. You've got companies like Atlas continuing to release stuff for it. But Sony themselves kind of don't care. Like, they've pretty much taking all of the major exclusives they had for it and are porting them over to the PS4, because we had Tearaway Unfolded recently released, and now we're getting Gravity Rush as well. So yeah, what's the point at this point? Unless you want to play, like, I was going to say, unless you want to play Shovel Knight on the go, but you could do a 3DS for that if you wanted. I don't even know if you can you get Shovel Knight on the Vita, or is it? No, I think you can. Usually if an indie game comes out on PlayStation systems. I'm rambling, I don't care. But anyway, my point is the Vita is dead. And it's especially notable because this is a Japanese, like, with something like Tearaway, you're kind of like, well, it's an English-made game. The system's not doing very, very well in the West, so the European developers are just going to move their games to the PS4 and do stuff on there instead, and just get rid of the portable thing entirely. It's when the Japanese studios start abandoning it, that's when the problem kicks in, and Gravity Rush 2 comes from Japan Studio. That's why this was all announced at the Tokyo Game Show, not at E3. You see, that's what's going on here. So, yeah, I'm sad, because the Vita is a really good system, but it doesn't get the support it needs to be a great system. So, because it's a good system, but it's just not got the library. On other news, moving away from Sony and the PlayStation and everything like that, I heard some news this week about Super Mario Maker. I heard a couple of bits of news about Super Mario Maker. I like the look of that game. I was initially unsure, but I've seen loads of people having fun with it and stuff, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I'd probably get that. And I love this news. Game in the UK. If those of you who are outside the UK and watching this right now, or listening to this right now, Game are kind of the British equivalent to GameStop. They're kind of the largely unopposed game retailer that are like the big name for game stuff. And people kind of deride them for a number of reasons. And this is another one that they're getting derided for right now. Super Mario Maker came out last week, and people who'd bought it were being charged about 5 or 6 times for the game because their system just had a fit, and it just started charging everyone multiple times. So people were being charged like £300 for Super Mario Maker, and it's like, well, pretty sure it doesn't cost that much. And yeah, lots of people kind of unhappy, and Game took a while to properly fix that, and that's a real issue. Like, if you're not sorting that fast enough, then that's a problem. And I know what it's like to have my money stolen by a major corporation, because United Airlines are the worst airline in the world. Never ever fly them if you're ever considering flying. I spent £1,000 on them, and they failed to deliver anything on my flight itinerary properly. But anyway, enough about United Airlines, this is a video game thing. But anyway, Game should have responded better. What else has been going on? It's been a while since I've done the last Chatty Corner, so there's been a lot of stuff around MGS5. I'm not interested in MGS5 because everything I've seen of it, apart from like the cardboard box demonstrations, just suggests to me a game that, like, you can tell that Kojima's just done. Like, he doesn't care anymore. Like, he's just had it with the Metal Gear series, because the soul just doesn't seem to be there anymore, and I don't care about it. And I'm still kind of like, I don't really like having Snake played by someone who isn't David Hayter. I know that sounds really petty, but it really does just kind of sour my experience with everything I've seen in the game. Like, well, they seem to have changed a lot of other things as well. Like, they've put microtransactions in it, and that's one big reason why I'm refusing to ever play that game. Like, not even try it out, because I've got this simple rule. If your game's got microtransactions in it, it's a piece of shit. Get it out. I'll accept free-to-play mobile games to a degree. I don't like the free-to-play model at the best of times, but whatever. You want to make your money back. You know, it's free to download in the first place, so putting little transactions within the game, that's fine. I accept that, I understand that. But a full-price title should not have them, under any circumstances. I personally don't like free-to-play stuff. Like I said, I just don't like the structure of it. I'd rather just pay a game and have a game. I know that in the era of DLC and everything, that's kind of difficult, but whatever. I still want to cling to that idea. I buy a game, I have the game. I don't want to be pestered for money every 5 seconds. And they try and justify it, but I'm like, they're there. Because they're there, I disagree. The only game I bought with microtransactions in it was Dead Space 3, and the only reason I bought that is because I had to do a video for Isaac. I bought it used, specifically, to avoid that, and I bought it for like £3 or something. I waited for a sale for it. I waited for it to turn up in a bargain bin. And I've also seen all that stuff about Quiet. I don't know that, some people are probably going to be like, oh no, I don't know how my audience is on this, but like, I don't get the impression that you guys are particularly like, oh no, Quiet looks fine. You've just been a damn SJW, but Quiet, from what I've seen, it's all crap. Like, just her. I've seen footage and just her just draping herself over everything and the boobs flopping out, and I'm just like, this isn't sexy. Like, it's supposed to be sexy, but it's not sexy. It really isn't. Just stop it. And the whole thing of like, and this is spoilers apparently, but it's been talked about widely, so probably a lot of people know about it. She breathes through her skin. And I'm like, come on now. What is this? So, those are my reasons for not liking MGS5. It's one of those it's one of those things, this year, a lot of the big titles, I've just been like, eh. Hey. Bloodborne. Eh. Don't care. Witcher 3. Don't care, at the risk of, like, winding up certain people that I know. You've guessed it on the Chatty Corner before. Batman, Arkham Knight, I'm like, eh. And MGS5, I'm just, whatever. The biggest title that I've been interested in this year has been Splatoon, so that should tell you something. But this year is just Nintendo's year, and then everyone else, I'm like, whatever. Next year's Sony's year, judging by the stuff they've got, especially Gravity Rush 2, which is apparently coming out next year. And so is Uncharted 4, and Horizon's supposed to be out next year. Last Guardian apparently is out next year. We'll see that when it happens. Just, yeah. This year has not been a particularly interesting year for me, for varying reasons. I'll probably do like a blog post at the end of the year to kind of discuss how I feel about the big games of 2015 and why I've not really cared. And probably just like spend about three or four paragraphs just going, Splatoon was the best game of the year, and I will defend that to my grave. Splatoon was my game of the year. I know we've still got a few months left, but there's really nothing on the release schedule. Like there's the Nathan Drake collection. Ooh, I have those games already. Thanks. I've already let's played all of them. But they're pretty. I don't care. But yeah, it's kind of. I've been very cynical about games this year, but next year should be better. Thankfully. I think, like, it's notable that you got, like, E3 last year and everything. I was just like, no, the whole time. But this year, there were a lot more moments where I was kind of like, that's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. And then it's kind of reflected, I think, in how the release schedule's going. But hey, there we go. On more pleasant news, I don't do this very often. And in fact, right, I don't usually go to conventions and stuff. And the reason for this is because in the past, due to a form of social anxiety that I have, I've admitted this on my blog, I've not really mentioned it on my channel, but I do have a form of social anxiety, and I do have, like, related conditions. It's why, like, more recently I've tweeted, like, positively about how the opposition leader in the UK is very big on promoting mental health stuff and how I'm applauding that. Posted a big thing about my experiences with this on my blog, but, you know, kind of kept things not really talked about it widely. Not because I'm ashamed of it, but just because I don't want to make it define me. But one of the things that I've always kind of wanted to do was go to a convention. But my social anxiety has always been kind of like, yeah, but you've got loads of people and you don't know anyone, and you're gonna go to this place full of people. You should probably go with someone. Oh, you don't have anyone to go with. You probably shouldn't go, because no one in your circle of friends really kind of want to go to stuff like that. So, or they live too far away, that kind of thing. And I've basically recently just gone, fuck that. And now I've overloaded myself on conventions over the next few months. Next week, if anyone is going to EGX on the Friday at the NEC in Birmingham, you might see me there. I intend to go wearing a Splatoon-related cap. For those of you who've played Splatoon, there is a hat which has got the 8-bit squid on it. Bunny actually made me a cap pretty much exactly like that. And it's great. And I will be wearing that to all the conventions. I won't be doing cosplay because, come on, I'm trying to deal with the social anxiety thing of just going into a massive hall full of people and trying to be sociable with a bunch of other geeky people. I figured that was the easiest way of trying to break through the social anxiety, is recognize, well, everyone in that room's kind of geeky and ridiculous anyway. Just like you. Everyone else is probably just as socially awkward, so hey, whatever. No one cares. But yeah, adding cosplay to that? No. Not this year. Next year probably, but we'll see. But yeah, EGX. I will be at EGX, and yeah, if anyone's going to that, that'd be great. Just on the Friday, because I couldn't get full weekend tickets, because by the time I found out it was happening, pretty much a big chunk of the tickets have been sold out. But I've got the Friday, so I'm going on the Friday. So that'd be fun. If you can't make it to that, if you can't make it to EGX, I remember I said about friends not necessarily being nearby. Well, I did get an invite from a friend who lives up in Leeds, who is a singer-songwriter friend of mine, who she's not really into like video games, but she's into other geeky stuff. She's into like board games and stuff like that. She is a singer-songwriter. I did post a link to her SoundCloud on Twitter the other day, but I'll probably post it in the description for this as well, just because she invited me to this thing and she's putting me up in her house. And, you know, that's a nice thing to do, so I'm going to pimp her stuff out, because she's a really good singer-songwriter. She wrote some really good songs. I really like what she does. But yeah, she's invited me up to Thought Bubble in Leeds in November. I've never heard of this convention before in my life, but I'm going to go to it anyway, and that'll be interesting. It's 2 days, and I've got the full weekend ticket, so that'll be interesting. So if anyone's in Leeds on the 14th or the 15th of November and are going to be in the area of Thought Bubble, you might see me there as well. If you can't make it to that, I'm going to the MCM Comic Con in Birmingham on the week after that, literally 1 week after, the 21st to the 22nd of November, I'm going to be at MCM Comic Con in Birmingham, again at the NEC, so if you're going to that, you'll probably see me there. So, that's a big announcement that I've made there, and I hope if people are going to those things, it'd be great to see you there. I won't deliberately like try and meet up with people, but I will certainly I will wear the hat as an identifier, so if anyone, you know, sees me and is like, hey, are you the guy? Yes, probably. So, and I want people to come and chat to me. You know, for 2 of them, I will be wandering around on my own, just because I'm like, whatever, let's go to this thing. So, that'd be fun, and probably be very tiring, especially with the 2 in, like, there's many weeks. So, yeah. So that's everything for this week. I don't know how long this went on for. It's kind of a pretty about half an hour by the time I've edited this down. Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe a little bit longer. So, in summary, too long didn't listen. Although if you're listening at this point, you did. Tomb Raider won't be going up today, but it'll be going tomorrow, the last part of this week's level. Area 51 will be next week, and I love Area 51. You'll see me geeking out all over the place in that part. Thank you to everyone who donates to my Patreon, and if you can donate to that'd be wonderful, and it would help contribute to improved quality on the channel, and would also help pay for the capture device that I need to help improve Cat's video. So hopefully if we can reach that by February, wink wink, it'll get done. If you've got any questions for Lara Croft, for a special Q&A that I will do that. Take a look at my Ask FM, take a look at my Twitter, take a look at my backloggery. I've already said Patreon. I'll double it again, because I want people to give me money. Whatever. And again, if you're at those conventions, I will see you there. I will inevitably remind everyone close to the time, but those are in place right now. And of course I will mention EGX next week, because it is next week, and I will do another Chatty Corner the day before. So, yeah, you'll see that. I hope you enjoy the rest of this week's Tomb Raider stuff, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good time. Hope your lives are happy and wonderful, and you're all doing wonderful things. Because you're all wonderful people. Every single one of you who watches and listens to my stuff. Thank you so much again for being a fan of my work, of my silly little channel. It means a lot. And on that note, I would like to say, see you next week. Bye.